Erich Wise, also known as Harry Houdini, is a master of illusions and escapology, inventing escape tricks. He escaped from handcuffs, locks, prisons, straitjackets, and being tied down with rope. Houdini and his brother Theo, who was then known as Jardine Houdini, performed a new illusion designed by Harry, known as metamorphosis. Crowds would gather around and watch a wooden crate that can change a person's appearance or switch places. Theo would go inside the crate locked inside, and Harry would be beside it with the curtains pulled over. After a moment of silence, Theo and Harry would switch places in secrecy. The switch was now completed.
Houdini never invented custom handcuffs for his acts, but he studied locks and handcuffs when he was young. He performed his escapes in dime museums as a child, escaping from being tied down and being handcuffed.
Houdini wasn't the first magician to perform escape tricks and illusions. He was inspired by a man named Houdin, where he built the stage name Houdini from. He was competed against other escape artists, but Harry Houdini came out the best artist because he didn't use fake handcuffs. Houdini's fame of escaping and illusions grew and many others followed.
Many other magicians used his handcuff escape tricks and made stage names that sound similar to Harry Houdini. Usually inventors would be flattered if followers imitated them and built or advanced their inventions, but Houdini took it as an insult. The only magician he approved of to be worthy of him was his brother Theo, who performs alone now.
Harry Houdini taught Theo how to perform each illusion in every escape. Houdini didn't appreciate the fraud Houdinis, so he made his escape tricks more dangerous. He escaped from handcuffs while diving into cold rivers and escaping from handcuffs in a tank filled with water on stage. Houdini then grew interested in straitjackets. He saw how the mentally ill were tied by the jackets with their hands in their underarms. Houdini decided to be tied by the jacket and escape. Houdini escaped freely from the jacket successfully upside down.
Harry Houdini's assistant designed a wooden crate that Harry would be placed in with both his hands and legs locked up. The crate was inspected to find any loose nails, but they were always loose, even though the inspectors did not know it. The wooden crate always passes inspection. He would escape from the locks before he hit the water and swim out the easily opened crate.
Houdini taught his new tricks to his brother Theo.
Houdini also escaped from prison cells and torture devices. Houdini built a Chinese water torture chamber where he was placed upside down with his hands cuffed behind his back. He escaped it a moment later.
Houdini was considered a hero in Russia because he escaped from a heavily guarded prison cell that no one could escape from. He was honored by the citizens of Russia, who were a communist country at the time.
Houdini did a similar trick earlier before the Chinese water trap. He drowned himself in a large milk can that was sealed tightly, and it was filled with water. The lid was locked 6 times, and then he freed himself from the can.
Harry grew older and he couldn't do so many of his escape tricks. Harry instead invented and reinvented new illusions such as walking through a brick wall and making an elephant disappear. Harry learned most of his tricks by books and retired magicians. He would recreate them to make them more spectacular.
Houdini wasn't only interested in escape tricks. He had an interest in flying airplanes and was awarded a medal as the first flyer in Australia. He also believes that spiritualists do not exist. He went to people who were able to speak to spirits and revealed all of their tricks.
Harry Houdini was in movies that starred him in his amazing abilities of Houdini's innovation caused great entertainment in people's lives in his home country and in America, which in fact both countries were in poverty. Houdini never went to school when he was young. He left his home at a young age before he was a teenager. Looking for work to help his family financially, Harry taught himself how to read as he grew up because he wanted to be respected with knowledge. We may not use illusions and magic tricks as much in real life, but it has opened the door for a whole new category such as special effects that we see in movies.
He suffered from an infection in his appendix from getting 3 strong punches in the stomach by 3 fans. He did not have the chance to tighten his stomach muscles. He died 10 days later from the infection on Halloween day. Even though Houdini didn't believe in spirits living on Earth, he told his wife that he would leave a sign that he was still in the world of the living. She waited every Halloween day for the sign, but there was none. Even though Houdini had passed away, his legacy remained alive. Although Houdini never appreciated followers and copycats, people are still performing his tricks and escapes. They took his innovations of escape tricks and remade them. A different style, a different look, but the same way. A list of people who reperformed his escape tricks are David Blaine, David Copperfield, Val Valentino, and especially Chris Angel.
Breaking the Magician's Code, Magic's Biggest Secrets Finally Revealed is a television show that presents famous magic tricks and how they work and to perform each one. Val Valentino is the famous magician that reperforms these illusions and escapes. Most of the escapes were created by Harry Houdini. The television show Mind Freak is a show hosted by Chris Angel, who performs many escape tricks and illusions. He took Houdini's escape tricks to another level with death-defying stunts. You could probably have called them daredevils. Houdini's death-defying escapes have influenced many people reperforming his illusions. His inventions were rebuilt, remade, and remastered throughout history of magic. He is still pronounced as the best magician out of all times. His innovations were sold off in auctions that made a lot of money after his and his wife's death. They did not have any children.
There is a museum called the Harry Houdini Museum in Scranton, Pennsylvania that is dedicated to Harry Houdini's life work. They offer tours inside the museum and host parties for young children. Houdini's legacy still remains.